Hi guys, on this show we're looking at Quaid, Marshall, Ladd, Randolph, Galecki, Lewis, D'Angelo and Chase. We're looking at 1989's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Hello everyone and welcome to another festive episode of 100 Things We Learned from Film. I'm one of your hosts, my name's Planty, and yeah, you all knew what I was going to do. Shit is full!
Hi, and I'm the other guy, John, and that was my line. I was actually going to use that. I'm going to empty my sump tank.
Well, 'tis the season, John.
Shitter's full. What a line.
It's nearly Christmas. This is the last one we're going to do before Christmas. Are you feeling festive, John?
Yep, tree's up. We put the tree up last night, and it's all good to go.
Did Kirsty not find it uncomfortable?
Ooh. Well,
bend over and I'll show you.
She had the dead bloody tree, and the tree's bigger than her.
Of course you did. It's fucking cold, isn't it?
Oh, it's brutal.
Baltic the now.
Aye. It's maybe 1 degree here. It's lying. It's at least -4.
Oh yeah, like -2 here. So we're making this the last one before Christmas because obviously Christmas week's always busy, and next week I'm fucking off on holiday. I got to get some sun, so see yous. Yeah.
Mate, I've seen you in the sun and you do not tan.
Mate, 23 degrees in the middle of December. Come on.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, San Miguel's
nice
in
one.
it. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully not give me food poisoning this time.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, John, this week, the week before Christmas, what we talking about, eh?
We're looking at Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation, right. Good relationship with this one?
It's not one of my favourites, and the
Okay.
only reason it's not one of my favourites is because I think I didn't give it enough. There was a lot of nothing went on. There's no as good as the other ones. The bird was just as hot in it as she was in the
bird.
The bird.
Hey, that's character actor Beverly D'Angelo to you, sir.
Oh no, I was talking about the assistant in the shop. So
all right, very good. Yeah, she's nobody. That's fine. That's all right.
Exactly, absolutely nobody. What about you?
Every Christmas, this one it's one we always look forward to. Actually, it's great fun. Watching it twice in a week was a little more jarring than I hoped it would be, but we still had a good time. There's loads of folk in it. Well, I don't know about you, I'm not even going to touch on the fact that Johnny Galecki's in it. I barely touch on the fact that, hey Richie, do you want to do me a favour and eat my pussy? Is in it in a beret. That character has never gotten rid of that beret. I'll give her that credit.
Yep, definitely. And Betty Boop as well.
Yeah, well, we've done Mae Questel every day, every fucking month of every year we've been on. It seems like,
Indeed.
So I don't do too much of that. 1989, John. What else could we have been talking about?
Loads of good shit here. Loads of good shit. So we'll go Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Okay.
License to Kill. Very underrated.
Good song. I don't know that much.
Back to the Future 2. Which was
my favourite Back to the Future, probably.
Were you there? We've got The Burbs. Oh, I love The Burbs.
Oh, that's one I've only ever seen once. Do you think that's a future episode?
No, it's worth going back.
Okay.
It's worth going back. No, definitely. Yeah. Uncle Buck. Oh, I just watched that a couple of days ago.
Here's a quarter. Why don't you go downtown and get a rat and all that thing off your face?
See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Oh, now that's probably aged terribly, I assume, has it?
I think people would be frowned upon if we tried to do it.
Is it worse than Stir Crazy? Because it was my favourite of the two. But I was an idiot child.
No, I think for me Stir Crazy was better. It was a bit more danger to it. And my personal favourite, Little Monsters.
Monsters?
What's his name? Him at Golden Years? What's his name? Oh, I'll get you in 2 seconds.
It's not the fucking Wolfman's Got Nards film, is it?
Fred Savage?
No.
No.
No,
it's about a wee boy who's got an imaginary monster that lives under the bed.
Oh, right. I don't remember that.
It's trying to lure him there and keep him there. So it's a bit dark.
Okay.
It's actually quite... You ever seen it?
No, I've never seen it. I recognise the title.
Yeah, Little Monsters with Molly, Fred
yes,
Savage.
of course. Yeah. Directs a lot of stuff. directs a lot of stuff. Anyway.
Yep.
Right, listeners, if you want to give us a quid, you can do so. Our patrons were smart this year, this fucking month, and they voted for this out of 2. We're going to give them an option of 2 because I can't be watching all the Christmas films. Another option was Elf, and thankfully they picked this. A few of them thought I wanted them to pick Elf and so picked this. That was obviously a bit of the old criss-cross, switcheroo, and it worked. Yeah, so I don't know why they thought I'd want to watch Elf, because I fucking hate Elf.
You do.
It's one of those, I think it's probably got very popular over the last kind of few years through merchandising and things like that.
The moich.
It does very little for me, Elf.
I think it helps. It's now been voted the most Christmassy of Christmas movies now.
Is it?
It is, eh?
Is it? I think if I were to watch it again, I would have a good time with it.
I love the fact that Jim Caan did it. You can tell that he didn't want to be in it. But
Jimmy needed cocaine money. Even
added
at
to
that
the character. Added to the character that he didn't want to be there, so it was added.
Yeah, you could 100% tell Jimmy Caan hated Will Ferrell. He hated him. Anyway. So if you want to vote in January, you can join us for a quid for 1 whole British pound or whatever the fucking currency is where you are from, and you will get the chance to vote, and we will give you a shout out every single episode, which people are getting a lovely shout out this week too. Go to patreon.com/100things or go to www.100thingswelearnedfromfilm.co.uk for that and all our socials.
So now that Charlie's on the coinage now, instead of a buck, should we call it a chuck?
Oh, very good. Yeah.
We coined that here, mate. We coined that on the show.
Okay, very good. I might do a new tier. Just give us more money. Just give us money. Because I keep giving it away to fucking charity.
The Bob Geldof tier. Give us your fucking money.
I keep giving it away to fucking charity, so we need to bring that fund back up. I've already had one complaint that the money was given to charity. The last week, listeners, we mentioned in the Gremlins episode that we were donating 100 quid to Mind. I did it on behalf of the podcast, on behalf of the patrons, but I did it in my name actually, so we also got the extra 20% for gift aid that you get in the UK. So technically it's 120 quid. The government should fucking pay. And not just for pretending that they lost their fucking WhatsApp. I lost my... I don't really know how resetting a phone works. Fuck off, you bag of fucking straw.
They've got that.
What a prick. Anyway, dating the podcast again. Will I ever listen to Joe and how not to date a podcast? I go on and I date his podcast. I come back on and I date ours. Anyway, it's been fucking 9 minutes and we're not talking about the phone. Warner Bros. We've done Into the Fucking Ground. All the big studios we've done, haven't we?
Yeah, but they say at the bottom, AOL Time Warner.
Yes.
Yeah, so I double checked to see if there was still a thing. It turns out it's still got 1.5 million subscribers.
Oh, right, it's still about.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, still about.
The last time I did it was about a year ago, and I went on for about 8 minutes, listeners, if you've not done whatever that episode was. And I went through all the companies that AOL Time Warner owned. It was fucking sickening. Yeah, it just made me... it made me wish for a simpler time when Warner Brothers was just three horribly racist old men.
No, loads.
Yeah. This song on the titles, by the way, right, I've got to say, I think about this all the time. I love the opening titles to this film because, one, it's a cartoon. It's not a great cartoon, but it's a cartoon. And two, it's just got a bit of a soul-y kind of number.
Yeah. No, it's good. It sounds great.
The song, Christmas Vacation, written by husband and wife songwriting team of Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil, and was performed by Mavis Staples. Obviously, You know her, John, from the Staple Singers. Mm-hmm. If you don't, you should. It wasn't released, so it hasn't charted. Listeners, I'm really sorry. You're not going to hear John say what we hoped he would say. Maybe you nearly said it, and I'm glad you didn't. Mavis Staples won a Grammy last year, John, 2022, for writing John Baptiste's album We Are.
Ooh.
John Baptiste. Never heard of him. I think he might be the bloke that christened Jesus or something. I don't know.
I thought it was a comedian.
Sure. Maybe that's the joke. Maybe that's the joke. I'm getting the word nonce. Anyway, 2022. That's the end of the most current facts we've done on an episode, listeners.
Yeah.
All the facts are going to go back to the 60s from now. Santa meets a snowman in this cartoon, by the way.
Yep.
So I did a little bit of work. Let's cost out building a snowman in 2023.
Okay.
Let's start with coal. Coal,
God.
of course. It's been illegal to sell coal in England for residential use since 2021. Why, John?
Environment.
I was going to assume fucking Thatcher, but yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. You can smell. I mean, you'll smell it as well. But you can sell smokeless coal. 10 kilos of e-coal, which I think is probably food poisoning, at $12.99 from B&Q.
You sell equal, aye.
500 gram bag of carrots, John, for the nose, from Asda, 35p.
Okay.
Nottingham Forest multi-striped scarf, 12 quid, from Nottingham Forest. Championship Football Club next season.com. And Oliver Brown top hat from oliverbrown.com, 45 quid.
Nice.
So, all in, £70 and 34p. That is the true cost of Christmas, dear listeners.
Not snow.
Oh,
Not snow.
Not
Not snow.
The family are driving out to get a family Christmas tree.
Yeah. Oh, did you see who didn't direct this?
Who did direct it? John Hughes. John Hughes. Not John Houston. John Houston. John Hughes.
John Hughes.
Oh no, hang on.
Awful.
Was he not the Falkirk manager at some point?
Chris Columbus.
Oh, fuck off! Is this the Chris Columbus cast?
But apparently he was offered to do it and he refused because he couldn't work with Chevy Chase. So was John Hughes as well, but he didn't want to work with Chevy Chase.
I think John Houston would have done it. Had John Houston not been dead by this point, John Houston would have fucked Chevy Chase up, and I would have paid good money to see that.
But they want to work with him because his views. Who wouldn't he?
I mean, the stories you hear of Chevy Chase, and I can't remember if we did this during European vacation, but the stories you hear about him, he's such a piece of shit. I think John Carpenter really struggled to work with him during the Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Right.
And he was really difficult to work with on Community.
Yeah, a lot of people say it.
Yeah, he's just a piece of shit, I guess. But I remember, I don't know about you, but I remember seeing, I think I watched Hot Tub Time Machine, which I don't know why I watched that. I think listeners, I don't know about you, right?
Because you love Crispin Glover, that's it. That's all you need to know.
Is Crispin Glover in that?
Yes, he's the one that lost his hand.
I don't remember a second. Josh Gad's in it, I think.
Aye.
He's the kid in it. I seem to, or whoever that other kid that looks a bit like Josh Gad is. My thing is, I watch a lot of comedies, like broad comedies today, hoping that they're going to be good, and they're just not. Like I can't remember the last time I really enjoyed a broad comedy, like a big hit comedy. Possibly that Sandy B Lost City thing. I really had a good time with that. Did you see that? Where she's the writer. It's basically a comedy rip-off of Romancing the Stone.
Yeah, and it had Brad Pitt in it.
Yes, yeah. And the bad guy's Harry Potter. Yeah.
So it is, and Channing Tatum. Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed it.
Mum and Dad are singing Christmas carols. They upset this dirty old Dodge truck that's got Tucker and Dale in it.
Yep. Yeah.
They ride his tail and then overtake and slam on the brakes. So he overtakes them and calls them liver lips. It's not a great insult, like 2 out of 5.
That truck has been in a couple of things. I can't remember what it is, but I've seen it before.
The Dodge?
Aye.
Okay. Clark asked Rusty, do you know what the first Christmas tree displayed in the White House was? John, do you?
Was it a white pine?
The first known Christmas tree in the White House was placed upstairs in the second floor Oval Room, which was then used as a family parlour and library, in 1889, during the Benjamin Harrison administration. Benjamin Harrison.
Or BJ, hey.
2 first names? Question mark.
Yeah. Oh, that truck was in Overboard.
Oh, right, the original Overboard.
Yeah, there was Overboard
good.
with Kurt Russell.
Good spot. The Dodge from Overboard overtakes them again, and when he tries to overtake again, he pulls the car under this logging truck. Now, John, did you have any particular thoughts about this bit?
Just at the bit when the truck was actually driving up the road, you couldn't see the car, so like that. But other than that, genius move.
Some good stunt driving, in fairness. Some really good stunt driving. I thought of 2 particular things. Listeners will probably be with me on this. Candy cane.
Aye.
That, and possibly getting Final Destination, because it was a logging truck.
Oh, God, I remember that. Jesus, that scared the shit out of me, man.
Neither of those things happen. Instead, they crash the car into the tree lot.
When we do not see Corey Feldman dressed as a tree.
We don't. Although I did see a headline only today. Corey Feldman to headline with Fred Durst in a gig.
No way.
Who needs that?
Limp Lost Boys biscuit.
Soggy Lost Boys biscuit. We see them trekking through the snow, and Audrey can't feel her legs, which is kind of like, okay, that's great. Frostbite is a skin injury that occurs when exposed to extremely low temperatures, causing the freezing of the skin.
Goes black. That's gross.
It does, and then that's not who you want to buy your gribbons from, is it?
Certainly not.
To buy your gribbons from someone with frostbite, oy vey.
Aye, buy ribbons.
And because it's Christmas, listeners, we offer a public service. Prevention of frostbite consists of wearing proper, fully covered clothing, avoiding low temperatures and wind, good-looking fucking Sterling, maintaining hydration and nutrition, and sufficient physical activity to maintain core temperature without exhaustion. Not at Christmas, though. You want to sit with your feet, don't you? You want to grommet. Treatment is by rewarming, by immersion in warm water, such as near body temperature, or by body contact.
Oh.
Now you're talking, eh?
Grabber.
And should be done only when a consistent temperature can be maintained so that refreezing is not a risk.
Cool.
There you go, listeners. Public service once again.
Who can be right?
They arrive at this massive tree, and the line is, it's not big, it's just full. That's what I say about me all the time. And he says, isn't it something, Audrey? Ellen says, she'll see it later. Her eyes are frozen. I like that. Asking David Thomas, the author of Surviving Antarctica. And he said, because your eyeball is contained within your head and your head is kept at body temperature, it never gets cold enough to freeze. The eyeballs in a dead body would indeed freeze, but while you're alive and radiating heat, it cannot.
Ah, well done, man. Well done.
Why, John?
Because it's body temperature.
Why must films lie to
Oh,
us?
lies. Always lies. Always lies.
Yeah, always lying.
I was looking at the world's tallest Christmas tree.
Okay.
So the world's tallest Christmas tree was Douglas fir, as you know.
I know him well. I used to drink down the same boozer as him, yeah.
It was erected and decorated in the Northgate Shopping Centre in Seattle, and it was...
I thought you were going to say Dundee or something.
No.
So that's called the Northgate.
No. And it was 221 feet.
Oh, right. Wow.
Which equates to 67.36 metres. That's big.
That's pretty tidy.
Imagine the bulb went out. Fuck that.
You'd have to be one of those cherry pickers, wouldn't you?
I know.
Rusty reminds Clark they didn't bring a saw, so they take the tree with this full root system on the back of the car. It's good. Real Christmas trees are the way to go, John, because they require no manufacturing process and 100% recyclable at a local recycling point, or you can mulch them and turn them into logs in your own garden if you want. But make sure you do, because 7 million real trees are dumped in January rather than recycled.
What the...
Obviously, in my job, that winds me the fuck up.
I'll bet. This is so Rusty. You were saying about Rusty. So Johnny Galecki, we know all known for the Big Bang Theory. Which
yeah.
Oh no, I know him for Roseanne. Who am I kidding?
Of course, you know from Roseanne.
But this was his second Christmas film in 1989, so he had two in the same year. So one was called Prancer. I wonder what that's about.
Oh, that's the fucking... is Leslie Nielsen in that?
I think so. There's something vaguely familiar about him being in it. And he started working in TV and film at 13-year-old.
Right,
Started young.
Yeah, shit child. He's all right in this, in fairness. The kids are pretty good in this.
Yeah. They're on rotational.
Yeah, absolutely. That night, the 80s wanker neighbours return home. One of them's obviously Elaine from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
The tree on Clark's front, and I love this. He comes out with this chainsaw and hockey mask on. Hey, Bart, you want to see my chainsaw and hockey mask? I found online, quote unquote, Halloween hockey mask. Yeah, $8.99 on eBay. You know exactly what that's meant to be.
Yeah.
Of course, Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th, but the first time the mask showed up, Part 3, 3D in 1983.
What?
Better than the one with the fucking hole with just the one eye hole in it.
Nah, no half eye. At one point, was he no wearing a sack or his head?
That's the one I mean, the sack with the one eye hole.
Oh, the one eye.
And it's kind of like tied around the... Yeah.
That was the... That was a reboot, wasn't it?
He looks like the Scarecrow, doesn't he?
Aye,
like properly ripping off, like, the Scarecrow.
or the flums.
Hey, Griswold, where are you planning on putting that thing?
Up your ass.
Bend over and I'll show you. You got some nerve speaking to me like that. I was talking to her. That's great.
That was kind of uncalled for the way, but you're like, aye.
It's something. It's something I only remember at Christmas. But I wish I remembered all year round to say, the retort of bend over and I'll show you. It just, oh my God. It's perfect. In the house, Clark cuts the ropes and it just explodes, doesn't it?
Yep.
Smashing all the windows. And again, we've got it's a little full. There's a lot of sap in here. At bedtime, Clark and Ellen are reading in bed. Clark obviously didn't get rid of all the sap because his fingers are sticking to the pages of his People magazine.
Yep.
Now, I couldn't find the People magazine he was reading, although I did think the person on the front cover was Mr. Bronson from Great Chill. Bronson's got toupee. But I did find the following cover stars for 1989, and this is going to make you feel old. Michael J. Fox.
Right.
Sarah Ferguson, the toe sucker,
the
black-eyed peas. Drew Barrymore, being sexualised at 13. Yuck. Roseanne Barr, again, yuck. Sexiest man alive and famous wife-beating Bond, Sean Connery. Liz Taylor and Bert and Lonnie. But they were so happy. Remember Bert and Lonnie? Yeah.
God, that takes you back.
Oh, doesn't it just? Also on the back of the magazine that he's reading is an advert for Wade's Wintergreen Gum.
Wade.
Which not only isn't real, but it features on the back page of a magazine in They Live.
Ooh.
And an episode, John, of Falcon's Crest.
Falcon's Crest? Oh, no way. That's the cheap man's... it's Dynasty, wasn't it?
Dynasty. Dallas. Yeah. Falcon's Crest. 9 seasons, 227 episodes, and created by Earl Hamner Jr., who also created The Waltons, John.
Oh.
The Waltons.
Got a soft spot for the Waltons.
Yeah. Enjoy that, listeners. The first and last mention of Falcon Crest on this podcast ever.
No, we've mentioned it before, though.
No, we haven't.
Aye, we have. No, you just blocked it out. You just blocked it out, mate.
Until we do a Falcon Crest cast. Falcon cast. Ellen explains her mum and dad are coming. Clark's fine with this, but she reminds him it'll be the parents bickering, including Ellen's mum accusing Clark's mum of buying cheap hot dogs and her being accused of waxing her top lip. The cheapest hot dogs I could find, John, were on Walmart's website. Bar S Classic Franks, 8 of them for $1.18. I mean, that just sounds like it's fucking sawdust and vagina lips, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be disgusting, man.
Earsoles, stuff like that. Parissa.com taught me how to wax my top lip, though, listeners.
Nice.
Apply the wax in a thin layer in the direction of hair growth. On the upper lip, start in the middle of the upper lip and spread towards the corner of your mouth. Only wax one side of the upper lip at a time. To spread the wax, use the edge of the spatula, apply the epilation strip and smooth down. Or, could do it a bit cheaper and easier and buy some Veet wax strips.
Imac, wasn't it? Back in the day, Imac.
$7.99 at Superdrug. Imac.
Always used to Imac my mates.
Did she not marry David Bowie? He kisses her goodnight and gets his head stuck in her hair and his hand on the lamp. Tree sap, John. It's like blood. It allows the tree to send nutrients throughout. It creates sugars to help the tree grow. And of course, maple syrup is derived, in fact, from sap. Yeah, but so is chewing gum and pine tar soap.
Ah, right.
We see the first transition here of dates using the vintage advent calendar with the really grim doll's face.
Yeah,
for December 14th.
Yeah, I'm sure one of them was a dead body. It was just sitting, one of those dead people just sitting in a picture.
This whole fucking advent calendar looks like the cover of a Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds album, doesn't it? It's minging. Of course, it brings us to our first advent for the patrons, the people that give us money for nothing and chicks for free. Jen Stewart, James Allen, Megan Dale, Ali, Ian McComish, Gav McGill, Phil Fairish, and Emily Vint. Oh, and of course, my brilliant, wonderful wife, who I can't forget at Christmas because she buys all me the best toys, Rachel. So thank you and Merry Christmas, you wonderful lovelies.
One and all.
Yeah, more of that when we open more windows onto the pricks that pay us.
Oh.
I looked for one of these, by the way, and I found an Atelier Show advent calendar at Harrods. Apparently includes reversible bib, cake toppers, keychain, plush toy, swaddle blanket, 5 pop-up cards, and envelopes.
Swaddle blanket.
So it's obviously for little kids. It's obviously for babies. How much do you think that costs at Harrods?
Oh, 25 quid?
John, 345
Pence.
of your British pounds.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
So a swaddle blanket?
Swaddle blanket, whatever that means.
Swaddle this. At
the office, Clark is making his coffee in a Taz face-shaped mug.
Yeah. Hey.
$12.96 on Amazon. Taz made his debut in Devil May Hare in 1954, which was a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Right.
69 years ago, John.
Jesus.
Yeah,
nice. Years ago.
Taz bars in the 90s.
Oh,
in the UK became Freddo Caramel in the 2000s. Caramel, if you're in America.
Caramel.
And as much as I like lazy writing, John, I'm not going to do a thing about Freddo's being so dear.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. Especially when Space Raiders cost fucking 60p a bag these days.
What the fuck?
Disgusting.
Johnny Onion Rings.
Johnny Onion
Johnny
Rings.
Onion Rings, Jesus.
Fucking hell, man. That takes me back.
No half. Puckered mouth. Oh, cut the buggery after eating them.
Yeah, don't cut your finger and... Oh, mate. No. He's talking to his colleague about the bonus that they're due.
Yep.
In fact, that's got me thinking. Do you know what? I think if instead of hand sanitizer, they'd made you wash your hands with Johnny Onion Rings during COVID, nobody would have got it. Nobody would have got it.
Nope. No,
that's exactly what it was. Yeah, pickled onion monster munch. We'd have all been absolutely fine.
No.
See, again, Boris Johnson letting us down again. Like spending 500 fucking million on PPE that doesn't work. He should have just give us all 20. He should just give us all a box of fucking Monster Munch per house.
Right. Sorted.
Twat. What a twat.
Fat-handed twat.
Just a twat in general. Hunchback fucking mutant. Anyway. He's talked to his colleague about the bonus that they're due. Clark's put down a $7,500 deposit on a pool for the house.
Right.
And he shares with him the plans. The boss comes in. Actor John, did you spot him?
Aye, but we've seen him in loads, haven't we? He's in loads
It's
of
Bill
shit.
Murray's brother.
Buddy.
Brian Doyle-Murray.
With the veal.
Exactly, John. Exactly what I've written down here. 2 years ago, we did Scrooged, by the way.
Yeah, Jesus.
2 years ago.
Still funny.
Here, Francis, I've got something for you. Is it a choo-choo train? No, it's 5 pounds of veal. Man, I mean, I don't know about you, John. I'd be fucking delighted if I got 5 pounds.
Nowadays, God, aye.
Although,
Jesus.
that said, I'm completely against veal as a meat. I don't think we should eat it. I probably should go vegetarian in the new year. It would probably make me a lot better. Anyway. Mr. Shirley wants to report on the new frosted flake coating that Clark's making. He calls him Bill, Carl, and doesn't get or care that he's called Clark because he's a shit.
He's a shit in this. Yeah. I priced up some pools, by the way, if you want.
Oh, good man. Yes, please.
You want some installed in the UK. So for a small pool with liner, it's from 10 to 20,000 and takes 46 weeks to build.
Fucking hell.
A medium concrete pool with mosaic tiling, that's actually right, 25 grand to 40 grand, takes 47 weeks to build. A large concrete pool with mosaic tiles, 35 grand to 50 grand, and will take 6 to 8 weeks to build. And these are all priced, this is average, so this isn't for a specific builder, because you'd have been there all day trying to get a proper quote, wouldn't you?
Yeah, mate, you could have asked him last year, and we'd still be waiting.
No, you need one in Scotland, man. It would just be like an ice rink. Well,
you just have your dogs pissing in it, it's fine.
Pretty much, aye. Scared no other place.
All these yes men follow him out, and Clark gives it Merry Christmas, kiss my ass, kiss his ass, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Later that day, they're shopping at Marshall Field and Co. department store.
Yep.
Founded in 1852, Marshall Fields was bought out by Macy's in 2006.
Macy's Parade. We've got
Yeah.
something on that later.
Oh, good work. Clark is looking at lingerie, and the woman that serves him is young and hot, and she's got cleavage. There's a few gags. It's a bit nippy out. She shows him these high-hipped briefs and shows him the ones I'm wearing. She's like, oh, yeah, you can barely see it at all. And he's like, yeah, you can. And then Rusty arrives. He's like, see, Rusty, you can barely see the line at all. And he's like, that's right, Dad. And he does this really good kind of bug-eyed double take. Yeah, I liked that. Back at the house, It's a Wonderful Life is on because it's a Christmas film.
Of course it is.
I'm not going to do any It's a Wonderful Life facts because I want to do it next year.
Yeah.
Just then the grandparents arrive. Ellen's dad, do you know they took a pint of fluid out of my lower back? And I'm like, that whatever that is minging.
That's not good.
Fluid, John, can build up in the abdomen or chest, putting pressure on the internal organs. Blood can collect inside the body following surgery or as a result of trauma. The joints in the body can become swollen with excess fluid called serovenal fluid, which surrounds the bone surfaces, reducing friction as the joint moves. There you go.
There I went.
It sounds fucking rank, doesn't it?
That's Shabba ranks.
Grandma offers Rusty a quarter to rub the heel burr she has on her foot. I looked this up. A heel spur, as we call it here, is a bony growth that pokes out below your back heel bone inside your foot. Heel spurs happen when there's stress on your foot ligaments. Heel spurs occur when calcium deposits build up on the underside of a heel bone, a process that usually occurs over a period of months. A heel spur cannot be cured. Healthcare providers recommend non-surgical treatments to ease symptoms associated with them.
Right.
It sounds minging, doesn't it?
That sounds pretty damn gross.
This whole thing's exhausting, but Clark loves it. It reminds me very much of my stepmum at Christmas, when we had my stepmum with us. Clark and Rusty are doing the lights for the outside of the house, which we did last week.
Yes. Although I did find the fact on the Guinness World Record for the most lights on a residential property.
Okay.
So it comes in from Hudson Valley. It's the Gay family, and they on 2014. I'm only laughing because they've actually beat their own record. So in 2014 they hung 601,736 lights, and then a year later they dazzled everybody with 686,526 lights. I mean, it's bad enough you do it 1 year, but then just next year, I'll add
We've got to beat it.
We've got to beat it. So imagine beating your own bloody Guinness World Record. I'm sure 601,000 would do it. Didn't need to go that far.
Yeah. The point I make a little bit later on in my notes is, it looks like a safety hazard.
Oh,
can you imagine driving down this road? But can you imagine living next door to people that do that?
Nah, it's not.
You would be cutting the cables to their house, wouldn't you?
Oh god, aye. There's somebody does it across the road for us, and it's like, oh, it's a bit bright.
Oh, it's not a wide street either, John.
I know, and it's all
jinx.
By jinkies.
The neighbours hope he'll fall and break his neck. He has this extendable ladder. The house is really tall, by the way. It's a massive ladder. It's kind of like the ladder you'd use at work.
Well, it is, because it's got, see on the side, it had a little arrow pointing down. That's so that when you put it prop up, it's got to be in alignment. So it's pretty much like the ladder I use at work. 3-tier. Wow.
I looked up the top 5 tips for ladder safety, listeners, and thanks to safetycouncil.org, they provided 1, the right ladder for the job. It's important to choose a ladder that has the proper load capacity for the job. 2, inspect the ladder before and after use. 3, set the ladder up correctly. 4, climb and descend the ladder with caution. And 5, be safe and use common sense when using a ladder, which is pretty much why I don't use fucking ladders.
Are those the steps to success?
you might think so. The grandparents are sleeping in front of the parade on TV, John.
So this is what I've done. So see that parade? I thought like New York had a parade. It was a Christmas parade, but it's not actually. It's a Thanksgiving parade.
All right, okay.
So I looked up a couple of things about it. So first of all, it's not a Christmas parade, it's Thanksgiving. But I was looking for the biggest balloon. So the Old Man Dragon made an appearance in 1929. It was the longest documented balloon parade in history. It measured 178 feet in length. It was this massive dragon.
Is it dragon breath? Gong.
Gong.
I did some looking up myself for these, John. The 5th of December this year, we've missed it, was the Santa Christmas Parade through the Addison neighborhoods in Chicago, with Santa riding around on, wait for it, a fire truck.
What?
Yeah, a fire truck.
The gift that keeps on giving?
Apparently so. Meanwhile, Clark is stapling the lights to himself and the underside of the guttering using this staple gun. A 14mm staple gun, $24.99 including VAT, from screwfix.com. Clark's basically been stapling lights all afternoon and into the night, and he's stapling them onto the slates of the roof, which wouldn't work.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't care how good your stapler is, mate. You're not going to be able to staple onto a fucking slate.
Yep.
And if you do, you're just going to crack the slate.
Yeah.
Man, can you imagine the cost? I mean, the cost involved in replacing anything in this film made me feel a little bit sick. He falls and ends up hanging off the guttering. He's creeping his way across until the guttering snaps, and this huge shard of ice flies through the neighbour's window and destroys this crazily futuristic CD player.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is that?
I was like, man, I know we were fucking raj for like black shiny things in the 80s, but wow.
It looked like a PlayStation 2.
It did a little bit, yeah. When they get back, the neighbours have no idea. Why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. I fucking hate this pair, by the way.
They're a pair of dicks, aren't they?
They are just awful. What are they doing living on this street?
Pricks. Yuppie pricks.
You know what, John? That was the word I've been looking for all week. Yuppies, and for some reason I couldn't remember it was a word. So well done you. Once they're all set, the family join them outside. He explains his imported Italian twinkle lights, which I was like, I have got to get some Italian twinkle lights for that. We've just put some lights outside in little trees out the front and lights out the back as well. And I really wanted some of these until I discovered it's what they call fairy lights in some parts of America.
Oh, just twinkle lights?
Twinkle lights are like the little, tiny lights that you've got on your tree. Fairy lights, yeah. Twinkly string LED Christmas lights, John, with 600 RGB, which is 16 million colours, 48 metres in length, Indoor and outdoor smart lights. Smart lights, John, they are app controlled. On your phone.
On your
What
phone?
an age we live in.
Oh, it's great to be alive.
£229.99 at B&Q.
Stick up your arse.
I am fucking delighted Rachel never saw those.
I know, half. That's a lot of money for a couple of fucking lights.
Well, they're like nets. You drop them over your tree. Shining. Not for me. Also not for me, Birkfield XXL acrylic Christmas reindeer, 250 LED, 180 centimetres, warm white colour, 324 quid.
Jesus. Christmas costs.
It does, mate, doesn't it? And people always just try to go that little bit further. The lights don't work, sadly. Ellen's parents are awful, but Clark's parents are very supportive. His dad says, if you need any help, give me a holler. I'll be upstairs asleep. It's very good. As everyone's in their bed sleeping, Clark's still hard at it. Grandad in Rusty's bed is looking at a picture of a chick on the ceiling, the poster. Did you know who this was or what this was?
No?
This is Carrie Otis, the aardvark. Guess Jeans model.
Oh.
Yeah. Guess Jeans, John, were founded in 1981 in LA by Georges Marciano, Maurice Marciano, Paul Marciano, and Armand Marciano. Now, you're not going to believe this, but before founding the jeans company, in spite of having the same name, those lads had never met.
No way. Really?
I mean, you're right, of course. They're all fucking brothers. Jesus. I thought that would be the fact of the episode, wasn't it? And in Back to the Future, Marty McFly wears Guess jeans.
Yes. And
You wouldn't have
Calvin Klein
guessed.
boxers. No.
He does wear Calvin Klein boxers. He does. Next morning, Clark heads up to Ellen's present in the attic and finds a Mother's Day gift from 1953.
Oh, was it? I thought it was,
Yeah,
I thought it was in 1980.
I thought it was 1983, and then I watched the sixth time. I was like, "This is 1953." I don't know. I was like, "How long has he lived in this house? This doesn't make any sense."
I thought it was a throwback to the film.
Oh right! Oh, very good. Well done. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell. It was just yeah.
Fact.
I'll give you that. Yeah, there we go. It's chilly downstairs, so Raymond's Ellen's mum. Raymond, it's your mother. It's our mother, Raymond. Puts the ladder back up, and this means Clark's stuck in the loft.
In the loft. In the attic.
They head to the stores without Clark, and he shouts out after them through this circular window in the loft.
Yeah, it's like a porthole, isn't it?
It made me think the same loft he's in is the loft that Caesar in Planet of the Apes lived in.
Through the round window.
They don't hear him.
Playhouse.
It's freezing up there, but he finds some old clothes and the old family home movies.
Yeah.
He's watching these black and white movies and crying on. It was a little bit too close to home, this, certainly the second time I watched it this week, because on Sunday I spent about 6 hours digitising videos from my no longer with us stepmom's handycam.
Ah, right, okay.
Which I could probably reach and show you, John, but it's not very good for the listeners.
Gone from high 8 to...
No, it's an old fucking, just a digital handycam, mate. It's quite... I say digital handicap. It's got a digital display on it. Yeah, it is high 8. Yeah, high 8.
Yeah, I'll keep you right, mate.
Oh, you did keep me right. Yeah, mate. There's so many of those, and there's just so much of my stepmom just going, "Come on, do something funny."
I know.
What? And my little sister going, "What?" She was so cute with a little fucking boy's haircut. But he's crying along. And the song here, by the way, is Spirit of Christmas by Ray Charles, off his Christmas album of the same name.
Right.
No charting for this song, although the album made it to number 42 in the USA in 1984. On the Billboard Hot 100, Ray Charles had 80 hits between 1958, which was the year the chart began, and 1990, when I'll Be Good to You became his last Hot 100 single, reaching number 18. It did worse in the sexy Flanders Ultra Pop chart, John, 34, and worse still at 38. Where?
What? The Netherlands?
Correct. Yeah, I don't know where you were from there.
I just said it was such shock.
I like a bottle of orange juice, please. So that was. Later that night, Clark is still trying to get his lights working. Oh, he falls through the floor. They come home. Ellen opens the attic thing, and he falls through the floor. Yeah, so I as the kids would say, I was totes emotional doing this, but I can't. Sorry, listeners, I can't go over this because it just. I don't know. It was just great. It was just great seeing my little sisters and like my mum and stepdad. My dad and stepmum still alive in the video, well, now dead. On that, it was yeah. So I kind of feel how he felt. It was good that I was able to do that for them at Christmas. Anyway, fucking moving on. I might edit that out.
No, I don't. Sentimental big man, it's Christmas.
No, I don't want people to think I've got a heart. Later that night, Clark's still trying to get his lights working. He tries to light the little Santa and reindeer on the lawn, but they don't work either. He heads out the back to check, and at that moment, his mum heads into the garage to get something on the fridge and turns the light on, which causes all the lights to come on. I was made to feel a little bit ill, John, by all these extensions.
Oh, that was horrible to watch, wasn't it?
It was fucking rank, by the way.
Although, I remember the old trick that you used to do is if you had something that didn't have a plug in it, you would actually split the two wires, put them across, and then push another plug into it. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, why would you even do that? Jesus, you're just going to set fire to your house. I tell you what made me feel even worse, even worse, was the fucking spinning of that electric meter.
Oh, no.
The electric meter starts spinning round faster and
they
faster.
Need Winston for still game there to get somebody to dodge you up the meter.
Indeed they did. Yeah, I did have a bit of a moment where I was like, it's like bloody Blackpool Illuminations in here.
Yeah, everybody does it. Yeah. Everybody does it.
The family head out, and I'll be honest, John, as good as it is, it's surely a fucking hazard. But his parents love it. He says, Dad, you taught me everything I know about exterior illuminations, which is nice.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
He walks down the row and thanks everybody, and at the end, Catherine and cousin Eddie are there with an old RV.
Before that, it went out again, didn't it? And he started kicking the hell out of these reindeers and stuff like that. But apparently he broke his pinky doing it. So
did he?
When he punched the Santa, apparently he broke his pinky, but then he proceeded to pick something up and club it. So it's the actual footage of him. When he punched that Santa, he broke his pinky.
Jesus Christ.
Consummate professional, kept going.
He likes money, I think.
Yeah.
The grandparents want to kiss the little boy, but he has a yet unidentified lip fungus. JohnColgate.com to the rescue here. A type of fungus called Candida can cause infections on the mouth and throat or even on the lips. The latter type of infection can be called lip fungus or oral thrush.
Ooh.
Ruby Sue. Oh, her eyes aren't crossed anymore. Ain't that a thing? She falls in a well, eyes go crossed. Gets kicked by a mule, they're uncrossed. Strabimus is the technical term for cross eyes, John. 3 ways to fix it that aren't getting kicked by a mule. Wearing glasses that can sometimes correct mild strabimus.
Yep.
A temporary eye patch over the stronger eye if your child has amylypia.
Yep.
This can make the weak eye stronger, which may help align the eyes, and surgery on the eye muscle.
Right.
In the US, John, the average number of deaths from horse kicks is found to be 0.62 per year.
Jesus.
In the UK, between 2010 and 2020, fucking hell.
2020.
In the year 2525, 44 horse riders were killed by their steeds in one way or another.
Oh, man.
Most of them, John, were by poisoning.
I was going to say the Avengers. Steed!
Because horses are bad people. By the way, Ruby Sue, John, this little actor that played Ruby Sue, the little girl, is 43 now.
Jesus. Feel old?
Yeah. She's also, well, same age as me. She's also the little girl whose bunny gets boiled in Fatal Attraction.
Fucking hell.
We also meet Snots the Doberman, who has a sinus issue.
Yeah, who looks clean as fuck 1 minute and the next minute is just covered in paste.
Yes. Paste, yeah, jizz, dog jizz.
Jug jizz.
Ellen and Clark agree to squeeze the kids into the house. Inside, Clark and Eddie are drinking eggnog out of these phenomenal moose head
Oh,
glasses
they're
that I've
brilliant,
always
aren't they?
wanted. Did you see Eddie's jumper, by the way? He's got this white jumper on.
Yeah,
and
with the
obviously he's got this
black.
black polo, like kind of turtneck on.
Yeah.
But it's just like a little bib
You can
underneath.
see it.
It's just
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Brilliant.
That's fantastic.
Eggnog's one of those weird things, John. I think if I could find a vegan version, I'd probably be all right. I love the idea. I might just drink neat rum. It's probably just as good for me, to be honest.
I had it, and I don't know what they put in it, but it tasted like, remember, snowballs?
Yeah, Advocar. Yeah, mate, we
like
buy at least 5 bottles of Advocar every Christmas,
Aye.
and not just because we're alcoholics, but somebody needs to
jazz
do an
things up.
intervention for us and our thing. I don't know if any. You just seen it, John. But I did it on my private Instagram. The video of all the booze I'm not allowed to touch until Christmas.
I've
Did
seen
you
it.
see that?
It's a lot
on
of
the
booze,
booze
man.
trolley in the front room.
Oh.
Fucking gutted, man.
You know you can put some bloody cold tea into some of the
No, because then I'll be gutted come Christmas when I'm drinking cold tea instead of
whatever that
Irish
was.
whiskey. Yeah, exactly. Anyway. 'Tis the season, Marge. We only get 30 sweet noggy days, then the government takes it away. Eddie and Catherine's other 2 kids are in rehab and training for the circus.
Yeah, their careers.
When Eddie explains that they're there till January, Clark chokes. There's a lot of this, by the way. Can you imagine the family coming over for that long?
Oh,
That
God.
said, I've met your sister and her kids, and they're lovely, but
Yeah.
squeezed into your little house, man.
That'd be a nightmare. That'd be an absolute nightmare.
By the way, this house, are we supposed to believe this house is only 3 bedrooms? It's fucking massive from the outside.
It's like the house for Home Alone, in it. It's
The
fucking
floor
huge.
plan must be fucking shocking. How much void is there in this house?
No, it's fucking
You know what
huge.
I mean? I would put fucking Raymond's mam up in the loft,
No, God, aye.
in the
aye.
freezing cold loft. It's more than she deserves, less than she deserves. She deserves it.
Aye. Frank would get the main room, though. He's a man. Love Frank.
I quite like Frank. The next scene, it's the 18th of December on the calendar. So the latest on the Patreon Advent calendar, Dan and Gavin. Be There with Belson podcast. Josh and Amanda, super familiar with the Wilsons. The lovely Rob Jones. Aaron from Z1, who I think we all miss, especially at Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, you fucking honeys. Clark sees Mr. Shirley. For some reason, I've written Mr. Shirtle, who I think might be a Pokemon. I was obviously typing this while I was watching. He's bought him a gift that's exactly the same shape as the other staff have bought him.
Yeah.
It's a really weird shape as well, isn't it?
It's like a bookend or something.
It is. Yeah, it's funny. He's put it with all the others. He says, I'm in the middle of an important call. He picks up a phone. Get me somebody. Anybody. And get me somebody while I'm waiting.
That's funny as fuck. That's a brilliant line. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I'm going to start doing that at work. That night, Clark puts a lubricant from the company he works for on this saucer sled. And the joke is that it's just too fast. He puts his anorak hood up, by the way. It looks like the little boy out of East is East.
Aye. Yeah, so he does that.
It's a fun scene, but it's not worth recounting on this podcast, especially when we're already on like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Plastic saucer sled, though, John, £5.75 at Sports Direct.
Nice.
Listeners that like the football, I don't know about you, but I can't have imagined 3 years ago that Mike Ashley would have been the least bad owner of Newcastle United in the last 10 years.
Please.
Sports washing, don't do it. Sorry, John, that means absolutely nothing
Nope.
to you.
No.
December 21st on the Advent calendar in the film means the penultimate of the patron shout-outs. What the Fuck Do You Want podcast, Nigel at the Wonder Emporium, Paul at SP Film Viewers podcast, Mono and Kira from Mono Rants at the Movies podcast. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Bill heads in to see Clark and say goodbye for the holidays. Clark's feeling low because he still hasn't had his bonus. Bill's had something arrive from the company messenger, and Clark's worried about the pool. That night, he's looking out the kitchen in the backyard, picturing the family by the pool in the summer. The song, by the way, this song I love, right? Meli Kali Kimaka. Meli Kali Kimaka to play.
Yeah.
Hawaiian Christmas. This version is by Bing Crosby and the Andrew Sisters,
Oh,
who I
wow.
think might be liver salts. Christ, I haven't
that's
thought about
pretty
liver salts in fucking years, and I wish I'd not done that. Sometimes I don't do jokes on the spot, listeners. Sometimes I don't do jokes. But sometimes, if I'd not done that one on the spot there, because I've had a couple of whiskies, I would have looked up fucking Andrew's liver salts and we'd have got some extra facts.
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway, there's somewhere here in the notes. The Andrews sisters from 1950, written by a chap called R. Alex Anderson, Joe. And this story from his Wikipedia page, by the way, John, is a beaut. This is a quote from him. Well, I'll tell you, a stenographer in our office, this was just before Christmas, we were all leaving, 5 o'clock, and she was next to me and she said, Mr. Anderson, how come there's no Hawaiian Christmas songs? She said, they all take hymns and they put Hawaiian words to the hymns, but there's no original melody. Well, that spurred me right away. I thought, what a good idea. I thought this over and over, a period of few days. This came to my head, I put it on paper, and I've been singing it ever since. Now, how true that is or not, it's fucking great. Bringing it back to Scotland, of course, this song was covered by Katie Tunstall on her Have Yourself a Very Katie Christmas EP in 2010.
Nice.
No, non-Scottish listeners, me either. Suddenly I fucking hear Katie Tunstall.
I've never heard it. I've
not heard that, but Jesus, Katie Tunstall. 2 songs, Black Horse and a Cherry Tree, which I assume is about big black cocks. I assume. Is it?
You're that a Black Beauty. She's a big fan.
She's a big fan of the theme to Black Beauty, like Alan Partridge. Anyway, Clark imagines the girl from the store in a bathing suit and obviously has this stoner just as Ruby Sue comes in. Seeing Clark in his red dressing gown, she mistakes him for Santa. She's pretty cute. She does some pretty cute kind of uneducated kid acting here.
Yeah. No, she does alright, actually.
She explains her brother is nervous. He might not get anything. Hims is shitting bricks. You shouldn't say that word. Sorry.
Shitting rocks.
Shitting rocks. Yeah.
That was a good one. Enjoyed that.
Ruby Sue explains the last year they got nothing. Clark promises Santa will be coming. He asks her if a man came and delivered a letter. She didn't see. She's a cute kid. And listeners, you know how much I fucking hate kid actors.
You really hate kid actors?
Yeah. Ironically, I quite like Jake Lloyd. I wish we'd seen more Jake Lloyd in films. You know, little baby Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, I've really softened on. This is pad racing. I've really softened on that kid.
He had a tough time, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's fucking. Wasn't the kid's fault.
No.
It was your man Lucas's fault. He did the fucking directing, which, by the way, listeners, I like Star Wars as much as the next fat fucking nerd, but Jesus, that guy must be stopped. Well, he has been, hasn't he, by Disney. Congratulations, Disney. Next morning, Clark comes down. The whole family are making a racket. Clark looks outside to see Eddie in his dressing gown, this too short dressing gown, emptying the chemical toilet into the storm drain with a cigar on and this beer. Brilliant. Shitter was full.
It's brilliant. It's still funny.
And he keeps saying it, doesn't he? He shouts over to the neighbours.
Even the neighbours, shitter's full.
Ellen and Clark agree to help Eddie at the supermarché. Eddie explains that they had to sell the house, barn and 10 acres. They should never have sent money to that TV evangelist that was screwing the hockey player. So, I had to look this up because I was like, that's a really niche reference, right?
Yeah.
And the internet is just full of people asking the same question. I think it's probably just a bit of a riff on the fact that there was a lot of that at this time. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of TV evangelists at this time ripping people off.
A lot of it about
Waco and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bit different, but I've just been watching a TV show on Waco. Clark tells Eddie they want to help the kids with gifts. It's very sweet. He gives him this massive list. He's loaded up the trolley with a fuck ton of dog food, though.
Do you see what they had that? Old Roy?
Old Roy. I saw Old Roy.
I looked it up. They don't sell it anymore. And a major recall for popular brands, canned wet dog food and gravy, train, kibble and bites. Old Roy and Skippy has been withdrawn from the market because it had low levels of a drug that was used to euthanize dogs.
Fucking hell. I found a Walmart equivalent that wasn't Old Roy. 46 pounds of T-bone and bacon flavour.
T-bone!
$54.70. Dogs eat better than I do.
Nah, no half. No half.
I mean, not that you can fucking
They really
tell.
do. But they dogs, they're fucking two are always getting good stuff. Cheese and all sorts.
Fucking hell. It's finally here, John. It's the 24th of December on the creepy advent calendar. So let's shout out the rest of them. Ian and Maria at Cult Connections. Joe at Hallmark of Greatness. Stig, Biggie and Gadget at Modern Escapism. Merry Christmas to the lot of you. But to all of them, to all of our patrons, we might not have made it this far without you. I mean, we fucking totally would have. But I would lie to anyone for a minute. I just don't. I am such a barefaced fucking prick.
Yeah,
Do not care. Right, we're there. We're at the last bit of the film, the last day of the film. Aunt Bethany's here. We've done the Mae Questel thing you've said before in the Who Framed Roger Rabbit episode. This was her last film role, John.
Yeah, seen it.
But she still lived another 9 years.
Good on her.
William Hickey, though, Uncle Jeff, Frank, another amazing voice. He's Dr. Finkelstein in Nightmare Before Christmas.
So
you know
he
the
is,
guy that creates
Yeah.
Sally? Yeah. Great voice. Hickey turned down roles in Europe in the 70s because he couldn't bring his dog with him.
Oh, quite right,
There
man.
you go. Yeah, what a guy.
Well done, him.
What a guy. I love this big stogie he's got on all the time. And they take his hat off and his wig comes off with it.
His big rubber ball cap sitting there.
Bronson has got toupee. But the thing is, mate, at the time, when everything was in standard def on the telly, you wouldn't have told
Oh,
that
you
was a
wouldn't have
big
noticed
ball
it.
cap.
No, you wouldn't. No.
And the joke here is Bethany's senile. It's not great, but she plays it like an absolute treat.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, is he still in the Navy? Is Clark still in the Navy? She's like, what? Aunt Bethany's gift this year is her cat, the Shake the Box, and her lime Jello mould? Question mark.
Yes. Ooh.
Jello salad recipe I found. Green jelly for lime, red jelly cherry, and clear jelly lemon. Create and set a green layer, then mix cream cheese and marshmallows with the clear jelly to make the white layer.
Right.
Set again, pour on red. Then you have the 3-layer festive delight. I kind of get cranberry sauce with turkey, although I'm not hugely into it.
No.
I like my cranberry sauce to be really tart. I only want a little bit of it. But Americans, can somebody answer what the fuck is going on with Jello salad?
Yeah. It's definitely a thing, isn't it?
It's we can't complain because we've got fucking jelly deals.
Yeah, true.
10%.
Well, we don't because we're normal.
No, because we're normal, absolutely. Do you know, I was in my local Tesco, my local Sainsbury's the other day, and they had jelly deals reduced because people weren't buying them. Why the fuck would people in Carlisle buy jelly deals?
I know.
Mate, we eat enough fucking shite, steak and kidney. Why am I going to eat that?
No.
Anyway.
Stick it.
Shove it. At dinner, Clark toasts the family, and Bethany's asked to say grace. The blessing! She does the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, it's so funny.
A grace
so
is a
funny.
short prayer or thankful phrase said before or after eating. The term comes from the ecclesiastical, fucking hell, Latin phrase, whatever that religious word is, Latin phrase, gratarium acatio, which I think is what Harry Potter does with his wand, or act of thanks. The Pledge of Allegiance is 130 episodes, John. How have we not done it? I am astonished.
Really?
Yeah, we've not done it in 130 episodes. The first version with text different from the one used at present was written in 1885 by Captain George Thatcher Balch,
Woofed.
who was a Union Army officer in the Civil War, who later authored a book on how to teach patriotism to children in public schools. Because why not?
Indeed.
The official name of the Pledge of Allegiance was adopted in 1945, and the most recent alteration of its wording came on Flag Day,
Of course.
June the 14th in 1954, when the words "under God" were added. Flag Day. Flag shagging day, more
I
like.
know half, aye.
What's your favourite flag, John?
Oh. Saltire's right up there, obviously.
I thought it might be, yeah.
But I had a bit of soft spots for the Croatian flag for a while.
Okay, yeah, it's a good one, yeah, because they always used to beat England in the football. Yeah.
What about you?
I would have said Uganda at one point, but they're their homosexual rights shit is bullshit. So I will replace that with the LGBTQ flag. Or whatever we're calling that these days. Apologies if I fuck that up. Or Kiribati. Kiribati, John, is a bird flying over the ocean with the sun in the background.
All right.
Any idea where Kiribati is?
I don't know. I thought it was Yorkshire with Compo and Clegg.
Very good. I'll set them up. You knock them out of the park, son. Eh?
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
Oceania. It's an island in Oceania. There you go.
Right.
Clark cuts the turkey. Oh, and it's a little dry.
Oh, it's horrible to look at. It does look like something for a horror movie, doesn't it? It's done well, but it's well done.
Mate, it is everybody's fucking concern, isn't it? Like, this is everybody's fucking worry that you make Christmas dinner and it's going to be like this.
Oh, God, aye. That
is the big worry. This is rank. But I love the foley of all the crunching of the meat in it. There's dipping it in the water and all that kind of stuff. It does sound good. I like Eddie's "save the neck for me, Clark." Made me think of Moe's Hobo Chicken. I start with the best bit, the neck. If a turkey, John, is over 4 kilos, calculate 20 minutes per 1 kilogram plus 90 minutes. This is for cooking, of course. If the bird is under 4 kilos, calculate 20 minutes per kilo plus 70 minutes. Test if it's done, make sure the juices run clear when you pierce the thigh where it meets the body. I mean, should I read that turned on by cooking instructions?
Yeah, you should. Is it Nigella?
Nigella pierce Nigella's thigh. That just sounds creepy. Why would I say that? Clark tells the kids he heard on the news that Santa's sleigh was spotted over New York. Eddie, with this completely straight face, "Are you kidding, Clark?" Like as if he doesn't believe it.
Oh, brilliant.
Snot's been through the garbage, but Uncle Lewis just wants his stogie from the lounge. My stogie. I want my stogie. Clark goes in, and the cat's been chewing on the lights. And when he plugs them back in, he fries the cat, which I was not into.
Yep.
As a man who may or may not be looking into adopting a second cat.
What?
You heard it here, John, for the first time. And listeners, it's an exclusive. Rachel's now going to listen to this when we don't get this cat, and it's going to upset her. So I'm sorry.
Oh, damn.
Clark and Eddie take this chair out that the cat got fried under. Yep. There's a mention of a smell from the drains. So hold that thought, listeners, because that's coming back shortly. Back in the house, Uncle Lewis lights his stogie next to the tree, and it all goes up in flames. There's our favourite trope here, John.
What one?
It's an uncle on fire.
Oh, God.
Because I was so excited talking, did I just miss a blammo there?
You did, actually.
You should do it again, John. It was good.
Blammo.
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 Blammo. Man. Hey, John. Yeah. You know what? Technically, in 25 days' time, we could do another Death Wish.
Oh,
we're into our 4th year.
So we're good, eh?
We could do another day. I mean, we're not. We'll hold it for later in the year. Because I'm gonna lose my shit. We've got to get Paul on soon. We'll get Paul on in January doing some shit.
Yeah.
But along with lots of other lovely people. Christ, I want to get so many guests on in January.
Yeah.
Man, can we? Thank fuck. There's like 5 weeks.
Because
we could every week, and I've been promising people all fucking year that we'll get them on. Anyway, I'm just so excited by the end of the year. The door goes, and it's the delivery boy. He'd lost a Christmas bonus letter down the back of the seat in his car. He gathers the family round and tells them about the pool and explains if there's enough, he's going to fly them down to christen the pool. Eddie says, "But I can't swim, Clark." Oh, I know that, Eddie. You know what? Whatever we think about Chevy Chase, he can do the kind of the grimacing father thing very well. He reads the slip, and it's what, John?
It's membership to the Jelly Club.
Jelly? I don't think you're ready for this Jelly, John.
Yeah.
Jelly of the Month Club. Or Jesus. Jam of the Month Club.
Oh, is that what they call it? Jelly jam. Jelly jam.
Yeah, jelly versus jam. Jam on Toast Club in the UK, John. 6 different jams every month, including mojito marmalade, pear and kiwi, raspberries, gin and tonic. £295 for 12 months.
Wow, that's no my jam.
And mate, it's those tiny little ones as well. You know, like you get when you're in a hotel.
Do we
enough for like 2 slices of toast at best?
Aye, no, I saw that.
Fuck off, jam on toast club.
No.
You fucking having my eyes on toast.
I was going to say that. It'd be different if it was something substantial, no fucking jam.
You know, when Rachel and I first started going out, I'm not kidding, and she still cites this as how I managed to get her to marry me. I used to get her a delivery of bacon through the post.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this. There's no bacon sandwiches as well. There's all sorts you can get sent.
Oh yeah, like a cheese toasty through the post.
Aye, yeah,
that was on Taskmaster.
Toasty
bacon through the post. Bacon on the beach. Bacon through the post is how I managed to get her to marry me. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I removed the bacon, and now I'm the pig.
No, you're the pig.
Why have the bacon when you can have that when you've got the whole pig, John? That's what I want to know.
What a romancer!
I am literally more man than she could ever handle. Clark goes Raj, drinks 2 whole mugs of eggnog, which really fucked with my guts. And anyone's looking for any last-minute gifts, I want my boss brought across with a big red bow on his head so I can tell him what a sack of shit he is. Eddie looks thoughtful, if he can, and heads off in the RV. Clark heads out with a chainsaw, cuts down the tree in the drive. The neighbours are discussing, should we have gotten a tree? I know it's a bit gauche and blah, 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 blah. And then one comes crashing through the window, which I liked. Your house, by the way, would be uninsurable living next to this arsehole, wouldn't it?
Oh, God, aye. Jesus
Your premiums would be through the roof.
Off the hook.
The wood bit at the top of the banister is loose. You know, kind of a bit like It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And he chainsaws it off, and then he's like, I fixed the newel post. And that's another thing I learned, what this pointless fucking thing is called, named after your wife.
Newel post? Oh,
Newel post.
You did there.
I'm just doxing Kirsty on our podcast. It's fine. If that is her real name.
Exactly. Watching now.
Again, just keep doxing your wife, John. As Clark is decorating the new tree, Aunt Bethany hears a squeaking, and it's a squirrel. Clark, where's Eddie? He usually eats these things. Catherine, not since he heard they're high in cholesterol. Although squirrel meat's relatively high in cholesterol, it's a good food source of niacin, vitamin B6, phosphorus and selenium, and a high source of vitamin B12 and iron.
Do run, iron.
Iron helps us play. Ellen's folks have packed their stuff to leave. There's this chase around the house, and Snot smashes the place up, chasing after it. Meanwhile, Margot heads over to sock Clark once and for all, and when he opens the door, the squirrel jumps on her, followed by Snots. Clark's like, where do you think you're going? Nobody's leaving. Nobody's walking out on this fun, old-fashioned family Christmas. No, we're all in this together. This is a full-blown, 4-alarm holiday emergency here. We're going to press on. We're going to have a happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny fucking Kaye. And when Santa squeezes his fat white ass down that chimney tonight, he's going to find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house. It's a great quote. It really is. Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby tap dancing White Christmas, John, which was a 1954 film that I have never seen.
Well, you know what? It used to be, all the Danny Kaye films used to be on a Sunday, I remember, when we were wee, so we used to sit and watch them all.
After Clark's dad approaches, he says, you're too good a father to act like this. You want your family to remember what a Christmas you tried to give them. Clark says, look, it was always such a shit show, but you never lost your cool. He said, I had a lot of help from my friend Jack Daniels.
Daniels, yeah, that was a brilliant line.
Clark asked Dad to recite The Night Before Christmas, but Dad says it's Clark's Christmas now, and he should do it. A Visit from St. Nicholas is more commonly known as The Night Before Christmas, and 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, from its first line, is a poem first published anonymously under the title Account of A Visit from St. Nicholas in 1823. It was later attributed to Clement Clark Moore, who claimed authorship in 1837. Clark is reading it as Eddie arrives with Mr. Shirley all trussed up with a bow. We see Mrs. Shirley calling the police. He threatens to fire Clark and send Eddie to jail. Shirley cut the bonus this year to save money. Seeing the family's sad faces, he says, it looks good on paper, but I don't like hurting those you depend on. People make the difference. Whatever you got last year, add 20%, which is fucking huge, whatever it is. Clark passes out, and we see the SWAT teams arriving to Here Comes Santa Claus by Gene Autry. Mm-hmm. who I think might have been the little fella with the glasses from the Carry On films. Oh, no, that's Charles Autry.
Close.
Charles Autry. Oh, hello. Gene Autry was the singing cowboy, John. He was not only an actor, but a rodeo rider and a singer, and owned the Anaheim/California Angels baseball team.
Jesus. That's multitasking,
California Angels. Last bit, the SWAT team fly in, so does Mrs. Shirley. Mr. Shirley explains it's a big mistake. He's not pressing charges. I did something I shouldn't have, and these people called me out. He explains what he did, and the wife's like that. Oh, you cheap. I can't believe you did that. That's the cheapest thing you could do. The cop has the best line of this scene, by the way. Oh, that's pretty cheap, mister. If I had a rubber hose, I'd beat you with it.
No, but they cut him off, didn't they? I was like, that's so fun.
Fucking great. Possibly the best line of other than shit's fun. The kids see Santa, but Clark says it's not Santa, it's the Christmas star. Uncle says it's the light at the sewage treatment plant. Sewage? And as Uncle throws his match, the sewer goes up from all the shit out of the RV. Yeah. And Santa and the reindeer from the lawn get catapulted over the moon.
Yep.
Aunt May sings the Star Spangled Banner. She finishes with...
Play ball!
Of course she does. Good. It's great. I always think of that as well. And then Clark and Ellen basically, say, I did it. I made a great Christmas. And that's it. And that's the movie. Any more facts, John? Because I'm all out. My new process for doing facts means I don't miss any.
I've got a couple. So the largest RV range is 45 feet in America. I don't think we've got anything that size here. The hockey tops are wearing from the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, very good, yeah.
So their name and logo is controversial, but they have no intentions of changing it.
Still,
no intentions.
Oh, wow. Right, okay, because... regular listener and patron Emily messaged me the other day. Her husband had bought her a replica one from one of these sites that's got Griswold 00 on the back, and it's still got the thing on the front. Yeah. And as good as it looks, I couldn't walk around in that.
I used to.
I would refuse to walk around in that.
I had a few. I used to go. I had a stage wearing hockey tops, and that was one of them.
A different time though, mate. Different time. We're talking what, 30 years ago.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, different time.
The very first circuit breaker was devised in 1873 by Thomas Edison.
Oh, that's a good one. Did along with the hammer, the battery hammer that Homer used, exactly. From last week.
You know it, brother. And Tylenol is basically just paracetamol.
Oh, is it really? Right, okay.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. How many do you think we've got, John?
85.
Oh, it's higher than that.
Really?
Yeah.
95.
Oh, you've got to go higher.
112.
North.
Fuck off. Really?
Yeah.
130.
Oh, it's too high, John. But it's a Christmas miracle, 127.
Mate, I never for a minute thought we'd get that amount.
No,
your system works, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, hopefully it makes the this end of the podcast less of a pain in the ass. But I assume once people have heard their own fucking names read out and they've not been called a prick stig, that they then tune out.
Yeah, I was going to say, as soon as you hear their name, they just switch it off.
Yous are all pricks, though. Anyway, so look, that another great episode. Listeners, if you like what we do, give us a quid, patreon.com/100 things. Or follow us on the socials. We're doing bits on those. At www.100thingswelearnedfromfilm.co.uk. Give us a follow. Reach out to us. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. And we'll do more or less of the opposite that you want. Yep. Because we're pricks like that. Because I'm a contrarian cunt.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So, John, Christmas message for this lot?
So, again, this will be the last one we'll do before Christmas. So, I hope you all have an amazing Christmas. But always remember, the less fortunate, and if you're one of those, please contact Mind or any other charity, or just reach out to anyone just to make sure you're right, because I wouldn't want anyone suffering this Christmas. It's just it's a happy time of the year, so just be happy.
Yeah, and if you're having a shit time, come and tell your uncles Planty and John, and we'll be there.
We'll tell you about our lives and cheer you up a bit. There's always somebody worse off than you.
Absolutely. But yeah, good. Well remembered, John. It's not always an easy time, as great a time as some of us may be having.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for another year of this nonsense. It's been I love doing this. And we've got this little core of listeners, which means nobody's listening. This little core of listeners, and we've all made such great friends, haven't we? We've both made some really good, real proper mates.
Oh, they're normal people. They sound crazy, but they're normal.
Not all of them.
Well.
But yeah, we've made proper mates in this, and it's great. And listen, reach out to us. We're just a couple of normal blokes who love having our egos polished and our penises. So yeah, reach out to us. That'd be great. Fantastic, John. Merry Christmas, mate. Have a great have a great time, you, Kirsty, and the Dags.
I will do, mate. Right. You enjoy yourself, sunning yourself.
Sunning myself. I will send you photos of my bronzed bod.
23 degrees, tops half.
23. Mate, it's tops half when it's fucking 5 degrees here.
Nah,
I'm wandering around this house in shorts.
In shorts, I know. I can believe it.
Anyway, thanks again, John. Thanks, listeners. Have a fucking Merry Christmas. But for now, it's been him and me and 127 things we learned from when your shitter is full. See ya.
See you guys.